I wanted to make this facility as flexible as we possibly could. It was very important to us to make this place pretty much bulletproof.
Hey guys, wanted to introduce you to Sam, who's going to be the builder of the Motor Enclave, now here in Sarasota, right on 41 near Sarah Bay. I think it's important to understand the construction quality, what goes into building these luxury car garages. So stay tuned for an interview with Sam. So Sam, first of all, thanks for meeting with me here today. This Motor Enclave project I'm excited about. I know you're the person who's in charge of constructing this, and just would like to bring some of your experience to the table and talk about the project specifically. So maybe if you can give me kind of the high level, you've been at this a little while, maybe just give us a little bit of your background on construction.
Yeah, absolutely. I started in the design side of things as a civil engineer, graduating, back in 1986. So I was a civil engineer for 3 or 4 years of my career. I decided to get into construction, and that's where I stayed. I love seeing things get constructed and put together and right through to completion. I'm very heavily involved in the design of the projects. We're not only a general contractor, but we're a real estate development company before we're an actual GC, although we are a general contractor and we are building this project as well. So I intimately get involved with the design of the project from conception right through C of O and completion. So, on this particular project, because of its proximity to the bay and the Gulf, it was very important to us to make this place pretty much bulletproof.
Sure.
and hurricane-proof. So we started with a very robust foundation system. It's a 6-inch reinforced slab for a couple of different reasons. Mainly, again, we wanted to have a strong foundation for this building and give the buyers the ability to modify the unit to their liking. If they wanted to add interior columns, to put a second floor or possibly a third floor, there is really no need to go in and cut floors for foundations and things like that, if it's planned, strategically.
And I've got, I know the car lifts are ideal in these units.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sure that 6-inch slab is going to be ready for anything like that to be installed so that they can stack these things as high as they want.
Yeah. Yes, correct. And then we decided to go with tilt wall construction because, again, it's proximity to the shore, and we have to design to current building codes. But the concrete tilt wall was the way to go, so people can protect their assets as well, not only from the elements, but from to make it a secure facility as well. So that was really important to us to do that.
In terms of the roofing on this, I know roofs are the big issue here in Florida, residential and commercial. Mm-hmm. What are we doing for the roof on this?
Well, the roof is it's a white TPO roof, very similar to pretty much any building you're going to see around town. But it is bar joist metal deck with an isolation board, rigid insulation, and then the white rubber, if you will, EPDM.
Okay. Yeah. And I understand there is the ability for someone to add a gas generator to these units. So I'm assuming that roof has been constructed in a manner that's ready and willing to accept something like that.
Yes.
It's prepared for it.
Yeah. Structurally, we have designed in the ability to carry the weight of a rooftop gas-fired generator. We do have natural gas at our facility. So even beyond a natural gas generator, if somebody wanted to add a gas-fired component, say stove, for example,
fireplace,
or fireplace, absolutely, they can do it here. Yeah.
And in terms of the plumbing, these units are going to have plumbing and sewer to them. Is that all kind of up to spec and ready to go if they wanted to put in a bathroom, full bath,
yes.
Kitchen, something like
yeah.
that?
We chose to stub those utilities, including the gas, into the space to give the buyer 100% flexibility as to what they want to do. We didn't want to put, say, a bathroom in the far corner and somebody said, well, I wanted my bathroom on the other side. Now they're just literally tearing apart new construction. Our idea was to stub the utilities up into the space, and then the buyer has flexibility then as to where they want to put those components.
And I have seen aspects where the other ones that you see out there, some of these other condo facilities, where it's there and it's not where somebody wants it. So the ability to have that customization is going to be key, I think.
Yeah, I agree.
I also understand that there's the ability to fully mezzanine these as opposed to some of the other ones out there where you could only do a third or a quarter. Is that due to the construction, or is that just due to the permitting and kind of the process that's been laid as the foundation?
Well, really both. The building is designed in a way where you can put a full second floor in it. So I hate to use the word mezzanine, because mezzanine it doesn't infer that you can put a full floor in.
Sure.
Okay, so we spent, as I mentioned earlier, I'm intimately involved with the design of this project, which on this project, we could take it even further. From the conception of the project, we had to go through the planning board and get the general development plan from the seller amended to fit our project profile. Okay. So if I was going to go through all that time and expense, I wanted to make this facility as flexible as we possibly could for buyers. So ours, you have the ability to put a full second floor in it, corner to corner. Okay.
That's fantastic.
And some of our competitors, they can only say they can put a mezzanine in there because that limits the amount of square footage they can put. Our approval will allow you to theoretically double your square footage. So if you're buying a 1,000 square foot unit, you can put a 1,000 square foot elevated floor in there. Some folks have chosen to do this in other facilities, none here locally, but in other parts of the country, where they'll stagger their floors. They'll have a second floor that'll be half of the footprint, and then they'll put a third floor that's the other half and stairs connected to. They're very cool.
Yeah, the customization of these is going to be incredible. I've seen what has been done in other locations, and looking forward to seeing what people bring to the table once they've closed on them. In terms of the overhead doors, the man doors, and all that, what are those comprised of? What was the selection process on those?
Well, there's a combination. All the man doors are pretty typical. They're steel reinforced, hurricane rated doors. They will have some level of control on them beyond just normal keying. They'll probably have some facial recognition or punch pad numbers, something a little bit better than just a key. But those are pretty standard throughout the facility. The overhead doors, there's a combination of them depending on which unit a person selects. The doors on the units that have balconies already built in are not as tall as the units that don't have balconies. The units without the balconies, those doors, I believe, are 16 feet tall. Okay. And those have they have glass in the upper third of that door to let in natural light. Okay. Whereas the shorter doors, which I believe are 10 to 12 feet tall, don't have that, but you have a balcony that's right above the door. Now you have the ability to step out onto that balcony. So pretty neat feature.
And in terms of the elevation of the project, I've got clients that have experienced flooding for our hopefully once in 100-year storm that we had not too long ago, where they've got a condo. It's beautiful. It's on the beach, but it wasn't so beautiful when the water came in and ruined brand new cars. Elevation wise for this project, we are within proximity, of course, to the water. Where are we at in terms of for concerns about flooding that people may have?
Well, when we're done, we will be above base flood elevation. Code requires us to do that. Some of these older homes that were built to a previous code, of course, the water is going to rush in. If you see any new home construction on the coast, they're on stilts. Sure. And you don't have a choice. We're not putting our building on stilts. That would not really be conducive to this style project, but we are raising the entire site up to 1 foot above the baseline elevation. So we will be 100% out of the 100-year floodplain. And I could also tell you that when we had the trio of storms a couple of years ago, I can't remember Milton, Debbie, and there was a tropical depression. I know. I purposely drove that site and we had no water. Now, again, I can't say that that's going to happen again. But we're going through extremes to make sure we are going to be out and above floodplain.
Beautiful.
And we'll have those FEMA certifications when it's done for insurance purposes as well.
Fantastic. And just, you're a local as I am. So opinion wise, you've seen some of these other complexes. What do you think in terms of location separates this, or maybe it really makes it attractive for folks out here?
Well, it's proximity to the airport, the Sarasota International Airport there, or a 5-minute walk, literally. And what's cool about that, I love planes. Yeah. When you're out there, when the planes are coming in for a landing, they're like 300 feet above your head. So you're getting a great view of the airplanes if you're into that kind of thing. But its location and its proximity to downtown. We met a lot of people who are car enthusiasts who live downtown, whether it's full-time or part-time, doesn't matter. And they don't have any room for their cars. So when this site came available, we were on it quickly because we thought that, people can benefit from its location because you're in this business, you know how hard it is to find vacant land here, and there's virtually nothing available. So our competition is far out east, which is great for the people who live out in Lakewood Ranch, but it's not great for the people who live downtown. When we talked to dozens of people here, and they all said, well, I'm just not going to drive to Lakewood Ranch to go get my car. but I'll drive here, straight up 41. It's not far. Or if I'm flying into the airport, I can get a shuttle and go get my car, you know. And because of our proximity to downtown, a lot of these folks have multiple cars and they could easily interchange them because it's a 10-minute drive.
Sure.
You know, straight up 41. So I think that's a pretty cool aspect of the project.
Awesome. Thanks for your time today.
Oh, you're welcome.
Appreciate
Thank you.
I want to thank Sam for explaining the in-depth nature of this project, the construction quality, what makes this an exceptional luxury car garage development here in Sarasota. If you're interested in a unit or if you're a realtor and you've got someone interested, reach out and be well.